Today's topic is railway. As you can see in front of you, there is the image of railway. It is steam engine. Okay. So with the invention of steam engine and wheel, these two things. So first is steam engine and second is the wheel. Okay. These two things. It leads to the industrial revolution. Railway provided cheap and speediest transport. As I have told you in my previous lecture that railway provided the cheapest mode. It is the cheapest mode of traveling, and also we can carry bulk of the commodities. Bulk commodities can be carried by these railways. Okay. And it is the speediest, okay, of all those transport mode which travels through land. The fastest is airways. So it started during industrial revolution. Okay, that is during 18th century. Then now railway cannot be built at every place. It needs some suitable terrain. Okay, and geographical condition, passenger coaches, engineer, steam, diesel, electric, cargo vessels, and skilled labor. So these are all its need. Okay, you can see if the railway is to be built, you need skilled labor with proper engineering, and lot of effort is taken for building up a railway. So passenger and goods are transported to long destination. So for it is used for long distance. Okay. So for long destination, railways are used as it is cheaper. As I told you in my previous lecture that if you want to travel short distance, roadways are good. Okay. But for long distance, the cheapest mode is railway. Okay. Now the first public rail line was started in UK from Stockholm to Darling. Okay, the first is in UK from Stockholm to Darling on 27th September 1825. Okay, 1825. In India, it started in 1853, April 1853. Okay, India has the first rail line from India from Thane to Boribandar. That is CST now. Okay. And it was started in somewhat April 1853. And the mode through which railway was used, soldier used to travel through these railways. Okay. Now, government encourages rail transport to reduce burden on road transport. It is just to reduce road transport burden. Whatever there is burden on road transportation, railway is the option for that. In land transport, railways are the cheapest and fastest carrier of bulky goods. Okay, bulk material and a large number of passenger over long distance. In heavy traffic areas, multiple railway lines, electrical and signaling, automatic control agencies are in use. So steam engine, now there are different types of engines. This, okay, here you can see that there is some smoke. So this is what? Coal engine. So earlier it was steam engine. Then after it, there was another engine which is said to be diesel engine. Then magnetic bullet train, you might be knowing now. So those are used nowadays in rail transport. Now one more thing I will like to add here. Let me clear this. There are different types of railway gauges. Okay, gauge means the distance between these two lines. Okay, this is what said to be gauge. It is vary in different countries and roughly classified as broad gauge, broad gauge, then standard gauge, then meter gauge, and lastly smaller gauges. So the broad gauge, it is said to be more than 1.5 meter. Means this distance, if it is more than 1.5 meter, it is broad gauge. Standard gauge is that this distance is 1.44 meter. If this distance is 1.44, it is standard gauge. Meter gauge means 1 meter. The distance between these gauges is 1 meter. And smaller gauge is less than 1 meter. Okay. So universally throughout the world, these are the four types of gauges. The standard gauge is used in UK. This one is used in United Kingdom. Then commuter trains are very popular in UK, US, Japan and India. These carries millions of passengers daily to and fro in the city. Now coming to the next point. So it is said that Europe, this is not the map of Europe, it is Pacific Railroad. Europe has one of the most dense rail networks in the world. Okay, so the highest is Belgium. Highest rail density, with density of 1 kilometer for every 6.5 square kilometer area. So rail density is measured with respect to 6.5 kilometer square here, okay, in Belgium. So for 1 kilometer of railway, 6.5 kilometer square every area, that is the highest density. Okay, then important rail heads are London, Paris, Brussels, Milan, Berlin, Warsaw. Okay, then underground railways are important. Here in London, in case of London, if you have watched Hollywood movies, you might be knowing that underground railways are there. Okay, so underground railways are important in London and Paris, whereas transcontinental railway lines have now lost their importance to quicker and more flexible transport system of airways and roadways. Here I am trying to show you the transcontinental railway. Here it is example of North America, that is said to be Pacific Railroad. The red color shows the North Pacific. This one is North Pacific. As if you are able to see it in clear, I am trying to zoom it again. I will zoom it little bit. Okay, here you can see the North Pacific. This is Duluth. It means, and this one is the last one is Tacoma. Whereas New York and San Francisco. San Francisco and New York, that is Union Pacific. It is shown by this color. So it is till Portmantova from New York to this point and San Francisco on this point. Then Southern Pacific in blue line, that is again from San Francisco till New Orleans. These are said to be the Pacific Railroad. Then other than this, Russia, it accounts 90% of the country's transport from west of the Ural. So this Russia accounts 90% of country's transport from west of the Ural. So this is Ural mountain. Okay, so west of the Ural and till this east point. So Moscow is the important point. Okay, this Moscow is the most important railhead with major lines radiating to different parts of the country. Okay, underground railways and commuter trains are also important in Moscow. Let's check out the points, various points in Trans-Siberian Railway. Try to learn this map. I'm going to enlarge it. Now here it is given the red one, Trans-Siberian line via China. So it starts from St. Petersburg here, red color. Okay, Volgoda, Vyatka, Perm, Yekaterinburg, Tyumen, then again Chelyabinsk From here it goes to Vladivostok. So this is Trans-Siberian line, okay, via China. So Harbin is the point in China. This is the main one, okay. So Trans-Siberian Railroad, early 20th century. Then in North America, as I have shown you earlier, the dense railroad network is found in highly industrialized and urbanized region of East Central USA and adjoining Canada. I'm trying to draw the map here, okay. So this is what US. Let's consider this as a border, okay. So northern part is Canada, this one is Canada, and this one is US, okay. Here it is found in the highly industrialized area, okay. The industrialized area is this one is the highly industrialized area of Canada and US. So in Canada, railways are in public sector and distributed all over sparsely populated areas, okay. We will see the Trans-Canadian Railway also. The Transcontinental Railway carry the bulk of wheat and coal tonnage. So it carries wheat and coal. Which one? The Transcontinental Railways. What does it mean? Transcontinental. Here you can check that though the country is the same, but on this point there is another sea and on this point there is another sea, okay. Let's consider here it is the Pacific Sea, okay, on this side, whereas on this side it is Arctic Ocean. So here also it is like this, Pacific Ocean on this side and Atlantic Ocean on east side. Then this is what Transcontinental Australian Railway. You can see the Transcontinental railway line is shown in dotted one. So it started from Perth, okay, and end at Sydney. Again same thing, here Indian Ocean on this side and South Pacific Ocean on this side, right. And in the mid, from Kalgoorlie to Port Augusta, it is Trans-Australian Railway. So in Australia, 25% of rail network is found in New South Wales, okay. So this is New South Wales, which account 25% of all the railway network. The West East Australian National Railway line ran across the country from Perth to Sydney, okay. So this is also known by the another name, that is West East. This is the west side, West East Australian National Railway, okay. West East Australian National Railway from Perth to Sydney. Then New Zealand's railway are mainly in the Northern Island. Now here there is New Zealand, somewhat like this, okay. So this is what North Island, or what we say Northern Island, okay. This is what North Island. To serve the farming areas. Now in South America, let me draw the South American map. So in South America, the railway network is most dense in two regions, that is Pampas of Argentina. Here there is Pampas. Pampas is the region of Argentina and coffee growing region of Brazil, okay. So this is, here it is Brazil and Argentina. There is only one transcontinental rail route linking Buenos Aires. Here is, let's consider Buenos Aires, that is from Argentina, okay, and Valparaiso in Chile. Valparaiso, that is in Chile. Buenos Aires, you might be knowing, the capital of Argentina, okay. It is running somewhat like this. Let's because there is Andes, okay. Here there is Andes, considering, let's consider it is moving like this, and the pass through which it passes, there might be, definitely there will be a pass here. That name of that pass is Uspallata Pass, which is located at 3,900 meter high. So this is Andes, Okay, like we have Himalaya in South America, there is Andes mountain chain. So Chile is on the west of this Andes and Argentina is on the east. So Valparaiso, from Valparaiso till Buenos Aires, this point, that is what? This point is Buenos Aires and this point is Valparaiso. Let's consider it is from Chile. The transcontinental railway which runs here. Okay. Now coming to the Asia. Now in Asia, network is most dense. It is most dense. Most dense in thickly populated area. Okay. For example, this Japan. You can see from Kagoshima to Sapporo. Okay. Then China here. Then India, we know all about India, the railway, how dense it is. Okay, other countries have relatively few rail routes, whereas West Asia is the less developing. This one is the less developed in rail facility because of vast desert. Here only desert is there, desert is prevailing more, so it is less developed. In this part, here it is dense, okay, dense in China also and Japan also. In the same way, when we talk about Africa, let's consider this as the African continent. This one is this part. Okay, if you can see this part, I have drawn it here, West Asia. In South Africa alone, South Africa is here. Okay, let me change the color. This is South Africa. South Africa alone accounts for large concentration of railway network due to concentration of gold. Here you will find gold, diamond. Gold and diamond mines are there along with copper mines. So this leads to the dense network, rail network in South Africa. South Africa is the name of a country, not the Southern Africa part. The important rail route continents are Benguela Railway through Angola, Katanga, Zambia, Copper Belt. Okay, now, so this is the map I found on internet about transcontinental railroads in Africa. Okay, so the first one is Benguela Railway through Angola to Katanga. So here it is the Benguela Railway. You can see. Okay, Benguela Railway from, it is said to be from Angola to Katanga. Angola, here might be in Angola, I'm not sure. Okay, Angola to Katanga. Okay, Zambia Copper Belt. So Angola to Katanga, here it is Copper Belt, this one, got Katanga, Zambia Copper Belt, this one is this. Okay, this, it is shown here, it is written Copper Belt, that one. Then second is the Tanzania Railway from Zambian Copper Belt to Dar es Salaam. So this is Tanzanian Railway, second one. This is first, this is second. Okay, and the third one is the railway through Botswana and Zimbabwe. Here, the Botswana is somewhat here. Botswana and Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is also here, one country. Okay, Zimbabwe. Linking to landlocked states of South African network. And the fourth one is Blue Train from Cape Town. Cape Town is this one. So it is here definitely fourth one. Blue Train. Blue Train from Cape Town to Pretoria in the Republic of South Africa. Okay. So Cape Town is the country, city here, and Pretoria might be here somewhat around this point. Okay. So these are the four rail roads of Africa. Number one is Benguela Railway. Number two is Tanzania Railway. Number three is this Botswana Zimbabwe railroad. And number four is this Blue Train from Cape Town to Pretoria. Okay.